This is today's Bible reading, Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, the value of diligence. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Give a serving to 7 and also to 8, for you do not know what evil will be on earth. If the clouds are full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if a tree falls to the south or the north, in the place where the tree falls, there it shall lie. He who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the clouds will not reap. As you do not know what is the way of the wind, or how the bones grow in the womb of her who is with the child. So you do not know the works of God who makes everything. In the morning sow your seed, and in the evening do not withhold your hand. For you do not know which will prosper, either this or that, or whether both alike will be good. Truly the light is sweet, and it is pleasant for the eyes to behold the sun. But if a man lives many years and rejoices in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they will be many. All that is coming is vanity. Seek God in early life. Rejoice, O young man, in your youth, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Walk in the ways of your heart and in the sight of your eyes. But know that for all these, God will bring you into judgment. Therefore, remove sorrow from your heart and put away evil from your flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity. Chapter 12. Remember now your Creator in the days of your youth, before the difficulties come, and the years draw near when you say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun and the light, the moon and the stars are not darkened, and the clouds do not return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house tremble, and the strong men bow down, when the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look through the windows grow dim. When the doors are shut in the streets, and the sound of grinding is low, when one rises up at the sound of a bird, and all the daughters of music are brought low. Also they are afraid of height, and of terrors in the way. When the almond tree blossoms, the grasshopper is a burden, and desire fails. For man goes to his eternal home, and the mourners go about the streets. Remember your Creator before the silver cord is loosed, or the golden bowl is broken, or the pitcher shattered at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the well. Then the dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return to God who gave it. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher, all is vanity. The whole duty of man. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yes, he pondered and sought out and set in order many proverbs. The preacher sought to find acceptable words, and what was written was upright, words of truth. The words of the wise are like goads, and the words of scholars are like well-driven nails given by one shepherd. And further, my son, be admonished by these. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is wearisome to the flesh. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is man's all. For God will bring every work into judgment, including every secret thing, whether good or evil. Transition. Solomon's political wives. Much of Solomon's economic success was built on diplomatic alliances. In the ancient world, such alliances were generally sealed with marriage relations, and Solomon's 1,000 wives and concubines included many women from foreign courts. One of the most important of Solomon's diplomatic wives was an Egyptian princess. She is thought to have been the daughter of Pharaoh Siamun, a ruler of the Egyptian 21st dynasty. Solomon worships the gods of his wives. 1 Kings 11, 1-8. Most royal marriages in the ancient world were political. A treaty would be finalized with a wedding, one ruler's child marrying a child of the other ruler. Family ties between kingdoms meant that warfare between them would be a family matter and thus less likely to happen. Solomon's wives, who numbered 700 according to 1 Kings 11:3, were all princesses. Apparently, Solomon was considered an important international partner by numerous kingdoms within and around his empire. Each of these women had come from a country that worshipped gods different from the national God of Israel. Each woman would wish to remain true to her own heritage and her own protective deity. They would have worshipped the God of Israel as the ruling God of the land in which they now lived, yet they remained devoted to the gods of their homelands. Solomon allowed his wives to worship their own deities, but it is not for this that the author of Kings condemns him. Rather, Solomon's desire for his wives was strong, and he himself eventually began to worship the deities his wives worshipped. Even in the theology of the time, this would have been unnecessary. Solomon had no tradition or relationship with these foreign gods, as did his wives. Yet, in his old age, he shifted from an exclusive monotheism to the worship of many gods. For this, he is condemned. It was apostasy from Yahweh, his own God. Book of 1 Kings, chapter 11. Solomon's heart turns from the Lord. But King Solomon loved many foreign women, as well as the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Sidonians, and Hittites, from the nations of whom the Lord had said to the children of Israel, "You shall not intermarry with them, nor they with you. Surely they will turn away your hearts after their gods." Solomon clung to these in love, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. For it was so, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not loyal to the Lord his God, as was the heart of his father David. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and did not fully follow the Lord, as did his father David. Then Solomon built a high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, on the hill that is east of Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the people of Ammon. And he did likewise for all his foreign wives, who burned incense and sacrificed to their gods. Transition: The Song of Solomon. This book is an extended dialogue between two lovers, the Shulamite and her beloved, written in sumptuous and often erotic poetry. The speakers are not identified by name in the text, but in the Hebrew it is clear when a speech is addressed to a man and when to a woman. A few other voices chime in: the daughters of Jerusalem, the beloved's friends, and the Shulamite's brothers. Still, most of the speeches come from the two lovers. Solomon is mentioned by name not only in the superscription but also in the speeches. Some suggest that the book is actually a three-person conversation, with Solomon being one of the speakers. This is uncertain, as indeed are most things about this book, where luxurious description overpowers plot and logic. Jews and Christians alike have often interpreted the poem as an allegory of God's love affair with his people. Many, though, read it literally and accept it as the Bible's blessing on the delights of human love. The superscription does not necessarily mean that Solomon wrote the book. The Hebrew construction of Psalm 1:1 is ambiguous and could mean to Solomon, for Solomon, or simply in the manner of Solomon. The other references to Solomon are in the third person, which make it possible that the book is in honor of an ideal Solomon and refers to the style in which Solomon may have composed love songs. Regardless of whether the book was authored by Solomon or compiled late, it nevertheless reflects the setting of Solomon's era. The pomp and circumstance described in the book calls to mind Solomon's royal court. His association with the song warrants reading it in light of his relations with women described in 1 Kings 11:1-8. Now, Book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1, the Song of Songs which is a Solomon's, the banquet. The Shulamite, let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for your love is better than wine, because of the fragrance of your good ointments. Your name is ointment poured forth, therefore the virgins love you. Draw me away, the daughters of Jerusalem, we will run after you. The Shulamite, the king has brought me into his chambers. The daughters of Jerusalem, we will be glad and rejoice in you. We will remember your love more than one. The Shulamite, rightly do they love you. I am dark but lovely, O daughters of Jerusalem. Like the tents of Kedar, like the curtains of Solomon, do not look upon me because I am dark, because the sun has tanned me. My mother's sons were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyard I have not kept. Tell me, oh, you whom I love, where you feed your flock, where you make it rest at noon. For why should I be as one who veils herself by the flocks of your companions? The beloved, if you do not know, O fairest among women, follow in the footsteps of the flock and feed your little goats beside the shepherd's tents. I have compared you, my love, to my filly among Pharaoh's chariots. Your cheeks are lovely with ornaments, your neck with the chains of gold. The daughters of Jerusalem will make your ornaments of gold with the studs of silver. The Shulamite. While the king is at his table, my spikenard sends forth its fragrance. A bundle of myrrh is my beloved to me, that lies all night between my breasts. My beloved is to me a cluster of henna blooms in the vineyards of En-gedi. The beloved, behold, you are fair, my love. Behold, you are fair. You have dove's eyes. The Shulamite. Behold, you are handsome, my beloved. Yes, pleasant. Also, our bed is green. The beams of our houses are cedar, and our rafters of fir. I am the rose of Sharon, and the lily of the valleys. The beloved, like a lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. The Shulamite, like an apple tree among the trees of the woods, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down in his shade with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. the Shulamite to the daughters of Jerusalem. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Sustain me with the cakes of raisins, refresh me with apples, for I am lovesick. His left hand is under my head, and his right hand embraces me. I charge you, O daughters of East Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the does of the field, do not stir up nor awaken love until it pleases. The beloved's request, the Shulamite. The voice of my beloved, behold, he comes, leaping upon the mountains, skipping upon the hills. My beloved is like a gazelle or a young stag. Behold, he stands behind our wall. He is looking through the windows, gazing through the lattice. My beloved spoke and said to me, Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away, for lo, the winter is past. The ram is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing has come, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land. The fig tree puts forth her green figs, and the vines with the tender grapes. Give a good smell. Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. O my dove, in the clefts of the rock, in the secret places of the cliff. Let me see your face. Let me hear your voice. For your voice is sweet, and your face is lovely. Her brothers, catch us the foxes, the little foxes that spoil the vines. For our vines have tender grapes. The Shulamite, my beloved is mine, and I am his. He feeds his flock among the lilies. To her beloved, until the day breaks and the shadows flee away. Turn, my beloved, and be like a gazelle or a young stag upon the mountains of Bether. En-gedi, an oasis in a mountain. Book of Songs 1:14. En-gedi is the strongest of the perennial springs that flow from the Judean wilderness down to the Dead Sea. This spring cascades down the face of the mountain in stages with the small pools between falls. Its path down the mountain is surrounded by lush vegetation, which has a uniquely compelling beauty well known to the writer of the Song of Solomon. The rough terrain from which the spring comes is extremely rugged, making it an ideal hideout for David when he was running from King Saul. In the mountains surrounding the spring are many caves and hiding places. The site of En-gedi was enjoyed as an oasis on the shore of the Dead Sea long before David's time. On the top of one of the nearby hills, lie the ruins of an ancient temple which dates back to the 4th millennium BC. Cultic copper implements from the temple were found buried just a few miles south, hidden in a cave. Unbelievable. I went to this En-gedi, and the cascade was still there. And this book is saying that En-gedi, the cascade, has been there long before David's time. But I went there in 2024. Amazing. I still have the picture of the cascade. The water was strongly gushing from the top. Yeah, in the middle of the desert. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. God bless you, and see you tomorrow again.